Today we're going to be talking about dividing with two-digit divisors. It's the same as dividing with a one-digit divisor, except with bigger numbers, okay? So, same thing. So when we're talking about division, we have our dividend, which is the number we're dividing. We have our divisor, which is the number we're dividing it by. And then we have our quotient, which is the answer. And then we have our remainder, which is how many leftovers we have, okay? So this is what we're talking about today, a divisor that has two digits instead of one. So previously we might have done 348 divided by 6, but today we're going to be talking about 348 divided by 26. So the number is bigger, the process is the same, okay? You still go through the same exact steps, except it's going to involve a little bit more guessing and checking, if you will. So let's say 3,248 divided by, let's go ahead with 26 since we already talked about it. The thing when you have a two-digit divisor is that when you have a two-digit divisor, you know, okay, that you are not going to be able to divide into the first digit. It's not big enough. So you're automatically going to have to start with a second digit because you have a two-digit number here and it can't go into a single-digit number. That's totally not going to work, okay? You can't make a group of 26 out of 3, okay? 26 times nothing equals 3. So you got to bump it up to 32. So you know you're going to start with two digits. And sometimes you might have to go to 3. We'll talk about that in a second. So how many times does 26 go into 32? Well, 26 is close to 30. And if I do two 26s, I know that's going to be too much because I know that 20 plus 20 is 40. So I already know that it's going to be more than 32. So the most I can do is 1. So I have to put that 1 over the 32. It won't go into the 3, it's going into the 32. So it's really important when you're dividing to line your numbers up. And one strategy that can be helpful is to just make columns for each of your numbers. Make columns for each of your numbers. So here we go. I got one there. So now I'm going to subtract the 26, okay? I'm going to have to borrow. So we have 12 minus 6 is 6. 2 minus 2 is nothing. So we have a leftover of 6. Again, same process. If this is smaller than this, we can go ahead and keep going and bring down the next number. So we're going to bring down the 4. So now we have 64. So how many times does 26 go to 64? Well, I know that two 26s is going to be more than 40. So I'm going to guess and check. So I'm going to say 26 times 2. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5. So 52. Ooh, that's close. Is one more 26 going to be too much? Well, let's see. 26 times 3. Can I fit it in there 3 times? 3 times 6 is 18. Carry the 1. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7. 78. It's too much. Remember, I can't go over. So it's going to be 2. So I'm going to be able to fit 2 into 64. The 2 goes here above where the 64 ends, okay? And that's 52. So I'm going to subtract 52. 4 minus 2 is 2. 6 minus 5 is 1. So my remainder looks big, but because this number is big, it's okay. I have 12 left over, which is smaller than 26. I can keep going. I'm going to bring down my next number. Now I have 128, okay? I just did 26 times 3, which said it was like 70 something, right? So I know it's going to be more than 3. So let's just guess. Let's jump up to 5. I think 5 26s will fit. So 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times 2 is 10 plus 3 is 13. 130. Oh, it's too much. Oh, man. Okay, so it's going to be 4, but I have to figure out how much that is so that I can subtract it. 4 times 26. 4 times 6 is 24. Carry the 2. 4 times 2 is 8 plus 2 is 10. So 104. That's as high as I can go. So I did it 4 times. The 4 goes up here. I subtract what 26 times 4 is, which is 104. 8 minus 4 is 4. 2 minus 0 is 2. And look at that. That is a big remainder. But it is less than this number. So I couldn't, even though I have 24, which seems like a lot, I could not make another group of 26. So this is it. I'm okay. I'm done. It's going to be remainder 26. Okay? So let's see what happens if you can't put the number into the first two. So we're just going to try one more together. We're going to do 1,243 divided by 30. Let's make it easy. Let's make it easy on ourselves. Okay, 30. Multiplying by easy. 30 is pretty easy. Okay, so 30 cannot go into 1. 30 cannot go into 12. So what happens when I can't put it into the second number? Just move over one more number. I keep going until I can actually do it. So I'm going to have to go all the way up to 124 before I can make groups of 30. I can't make groups of 30 out of 1. I can't make groups of 30 out of 12. But if I have 124 or something, I can make groups of 30. So about how many? I don't know. Let's see. Well, 3 times 4 is 12, so maybe 4 groups of 30 would be close to 124. Okay, so 4 times 30. Oh, this is easy because I can do 3 times 4, which is 12, and just add the 0 to the end. 120, that's pretty good. See, estimating is helpful, right? So, but I couldn't put into 1. I couldn't put it into 12. I have to put it into 124. So I have to put this above the 124. And again, I can make my columns to help me sort all this out, okay? So my answer is starting here because I'm putting 30 into 124. So my answer goes at the end of the 124. So it can go in there 4 times. I put a 4 up here. 4 times 30 is 120, so that's what I subtract. 4 groups of 30 is 120. I have 4 left over. That's smaller than that number. Good to go. Bring down the next number. I have 43. Well, I know that one group of 30 goes into 43 because I know that 2 30s is 60 and that's too much. So I don't have to do a lot of hard work there. So it's going to go 1 time, minus 30, and I'm going to get a remainder of 13. This is smaller than this number. I am good to go. That is my remainder. Remainder 13, and that is my answer. 41, remainder 13.